In this video we will explain you the difference between internally displaced persons and refugees, using the examples of Ukraine and Palestine. We will explain to you what these terms mean and why it is important to understand the difference. Let's first understand what refugees are. Refugees are people who are fleeing serious violence or persecution from their own country to another country, because their lives are under immediate threat. This can include political persecution, war, ethnic conflicts or other life-threatening situations. But then what is the difference to internally displaced persons? Internally displaced persons are people who are on the run in their own country because their lives are threatened. The key difference is that they do not leave their country, but seek refuge within it. Why is it important to know the difference between refugee and internally displaced persons? This is important because there are different legal frameworks. Refugees are protected by the 1951 Geneva Refugee Convention, which was signed by 149 countries and is legally binding. This convention obliges the signatory states to grant refugees protection and to respect their basic human rights. But what about internally displaced persons? There is no comparable UN legal obligation for internally displaced persons. Instead, there are guidelines and principles that are recommended by international organizations, but they are not legally binding. Refugees have a right to international protection, while internally displaced persons rely on their government's support. After the outbreak of the Ukraine conflict in February 2022, for example, hundreds of thousands of war refugees fled and sought refuge in various neighboring countries, including Poland, Romania, and Hungary. They are considered as refugees. At the end of 2023, millions of people inside the Palestinian Gaza Strip fled from the north to the south to protect themselves from the clashes between Hamas and the Israeli army. These people are internally displaced persons. There is no binding UN protection for these so-called internally displaced persons. Thank you for watching. We hope that this video helped you to understand the difference between refugees and internally displaced persons.